Picture this. It's a weeknight, there's something really good on the table, and you just want a wine that feels easy, delicious, but still fun. We want no overthinking, there's no occasion really required. And there are two wines that fit this bill that we are going to talk about today. Hi there, I am Jacqueline for Vero, where we go around the world searching out wild and scarce, unique wines and specialty foods to bring to the US for wine lovers, businesses, and distributors alike to discover and enjoy along with us. And today, we are going to be making the case for Lambrusco as one of the most no-brainer wines that you can reach for any day of the week. Lambrusco is not just one thing. Now, a lot of people hear the word Lambrusco and they think of one specific thing. It is that sweet, fizzy red wine from the 1970s that really gave the whole category kind of a bad reputation. But the real story of Lambrusco is actually a lot more interesting and delicious. Lambrusco is both the name of a type of grape and of the wine, but it's not just one grape, it's actually an entire family of native Italian varieties with roots going all the way back to native and wild vines that once grew in the Italian countryside. So when you actually drink a Lambrusco wine, you are quite literally drinking something with a wild origin. And just like any large family, the members don't all look or taste alike. Each grape variety will bring something different to our glass. Some will be lighter and more floral, others deeper and more structured. Which will mean that Lambrusco as a wine can be bright and refreshing, or it can be dark and richly fruited. It can be dry or off-dry, red, or even rosé-ish. So when someone tells you they don't like Lambrusco, most likely they just haven't met the right one yet. Why Lambrusco works. Part of the reason that Lambrusco has stayed so beloved in the region of Emilia-Romagna in Italy is that it just works. It's kind of a wine that naturally belongs at the table because it brings freshness, lift, and a little bit of joy, but without asking for a formal occasion. It's sparkling, usually lower in alcohol, and it has a kind of easygoing quality that makes it incredibly flexible. Now, we mean flexible in style, in pleasantness, and even flexible in pairing with food. You can open it on a weeknight with pizza, pour it alongside a charcuterie board, or bring it to a casual gathering, and we know that it will fit right in. It's playful, it's food friendly, and being that lighter in alcohol, it doesn't weigh you down. After all, the home of Emilia-Romagna is famous for its foods like salamis, cold cuts, and pastas. And all three of those are great, relatively fatty foods that Lambrusco bubbles and acidity cut through and pair great with. And that's the beauty of Lambrusco. It feels relaxed, but it still has a real personality behind it. It can be the wine that starts the evening, but it can be the wine that keeps the conversation going, and it can be a wine that quietly steals the show with the right dish. A producer, Frignano. And now we come to Frignano, who crafted these two wines I have in front of me and we are going to be tasting today. Through a unique twist, Lambrusco here starts to feel exciting. Frignano is a small organic winery located just outside of Modena that is run by Irene Ballem. What makes her wines especially interesting is that she will work in a natural, hands-on style and including pet nat and ancestral method sparkling wines like these two here. This gives her wines an energetic, alive quality that feels really true to the spirit of Lambrusco. And these two bottles that we are tasting today will show just how differently that spirit can be from one bottle to another. One is going to be brighter and more lifted, the other a little bit darker and more textured. But together, they will give you a good sense of how much range this style of a sparkling red wine can have. Now, if you've seen our earlier videos about Irene and Frignano, you already know the backstory, and we'll have all of that linked below. But if you haven't seen those articles, it might mean that you are not subscribed here on YouTube or to the Vero newsletter on verovino.com. Subscribers to the Vero newsletter that I have linked below are the first to hear about new content like articles and videos and new products or other news from Vero. So be sure to join the Vero community and to sign up for the free Vero newsletter so that you never miss any more content from Vero. The links to all of that will be in the description below. But now, let's get back to Frignano and their wines. Now, as we have said, these two wines have very different souls. So what I'm going to be doing today is not really contrasting which is better, but we're going to be talking the inherent beauty of each wine and its different flavors. Scarbato and tasting. So let's start with Scarbato. Scarbato. What a pretty color. Now, Scarbato here is made from uva tosca. It is a local grape that Frignano helps to bring back into focus through their natural hands-on approach to winemaking and really pushing this grape to the forefront. It's a grape that Irene is really championing to try and save, as it's truly an amazing standalone grape that has kind of been forgotten. Now, Scarbato here is technically a rosé sparkling wine, but it is such a pretty rosé color, a little bit on the darker side, not that pale Provence that we think of when we say rosé. Made in the ancestral method with native yeast fermentation, it is bottled on the lees and left unfiltered, so we still see the lees in here. And this gives the glass really an alive, energetic character as it's still aging in the bottle. And you taste that energy right away in the tasting. It's bright, fresh, and refreshing, almost cranberry-like in flavor, and it's immediately appealing. You want to keep sipping. I get strawberries on the nose, a saline finish on the palate, and it's easily quaffable. And it makes it great with like a lighter fare, I would say. And this taste, I'm trying to think. Cranberry juice. I've just got to go with cranberry juice. It's really good. It's so good, I could sit and easily finish the whole bottle without even realizing it. And that's the kind of wine that makes it shine as an aperitivo. It'll be great with charcuterie, salty bites, lighter dishes, or any kind of a table where you want something sparkling and fun, but not overpowering to the food for the pairings. Scurrone and tasting it. Now, let's try scurrone. Now, scurrone, on the other hand, is built from Lambrusco grappa rossa with a touch of Malvo gentile in the mix. That is another less common but local grape to the area. This blend will give us a wine with a little bit more richness, body, and depth. Like Scarbato, this wine has been made in the ancestral method with native yeast fermentation, and it's bottled on the lees. So we're going to see those in the bottle, but this helps to add more texture and complexity as time goes on and it keeps aging. In the glass, it's darker, but it smells a lot more grounded, and the fruit will lean towards more of a sour cherry note. It's got a nice tannic structure, and it has a real presence on the palate. Malvo gentile will add softness and richness to that traditional grappa rossa character. So the wine still feels fresh and fruity when I'm tasting it, but it also still feels layered and satisfying. This is definitely the kind of Lambrusco that I would want with a little bit more substance. It's going to be great with a richer food, a savory dish, like a grilled meat or anything that can meet this texture and this depth of flavor halfway. It feels much more like a classic Lambrusco. So there you have it, the beauty of the sparkling red wines of Frignano. These are just wines that make sense. Low in alcohol, they're sparkling, they're flavorful, and Lambrusco in and of itself comes in so many different styles, and it pairs beautifully with all different kinds of foods that you may have on your table. This means that it can be a wine that you open by yourself on an ordinary weeknight, or the wine that you pour when you want to make a meal or a gathering feel a little bit more alive and fun. And these two wines from Frignano show that kind of double spirit perfectly. Scarbato will bring a bright, fresh, cranberry-like lift, while Scurrone gives us depth and a little bit of texture. It's a same family, but a different mood, and both the same easiness to enjoy. So now, if you're curious to taste these two wines for yourself, you can check them out in the Vero shop that I have linked below. We can ship them right to you here in most of the US states, or you can contact us for business pricing. And if you want to keep exploring the world of Lambrusco, check out the article that I have linked below to keep going. So thank you for joining me today. If you enjoyed the video, please leave a like below and be sure to subscribe both here on YouTube and to the Vero newsletter on verovino.com that I have linked below to never miss any more great content from Vero. I will see you in the next video, which might just be this one here about the wines and producer that we discussed today. Cheers!